What's going on, guys? Lance here, and as you all know, the Crown Tundra has recently dropped and showed us that the Isle of Armor was just the warm-up because man, this DLC is great. When I first played through this DLC's main story, I could not help but just look at all the potential shiny hunts. So for this video, I'm going to cover what I think are 10 amazing shiny hunts you can do in the Crown Tundra. And before we get started, if you enjoy this video at any point, don't forget to drop a like and consider subscribing. We just hit 100 subs and I'd like to thank everyone for that milestone. Other than that, let's dive right in. So starting off in no particular order is hunting the Reggies. The Reggies are some of the legendary Pokemon you can get in the Crown Tundra, and all 5 of them can indeed be hunted. And I personally just got my shiny Regieleki, which I'm super happy about, and you should check out that video in the cards above. The Reggies can be hunted with either soft resets or runaways. There's a misconception on with the battle method if it works on static encounters, and from what I've seen it does not, which means you can't get that 3% roll chance to get a slightly better odds. In either way, it's still a gamble if getting 3% of the time better odds is even worth it, so it's better if you just do runaways or soft resets, and whichever one's faster for you. Now on to the next hunt in fossil Pokemon. So something awesome about the Crown Tundra is that, for whatever reason, fossil Pokemon live in the Crown Tundra, and you can find almost all the past fossil Pokemon except for the Sinnoh fossils and the Galar ones. And that leads for some amazing hunts, also being the first time that you can get some of these fossil Pokemon in Pokeballs other than just the plain Pokeball. Also, side note for those who want to hunt, Ammonite and Kabuto lines are exclusive to their separate versions, Ammonite for sword, Kabuto for shield. So for the next hunt, it's going to be Pokemon in Dynamax Adventures. So Pokemon in the Max layer are different to those elsewhere. Pokemon in Dynamax Adventures have increased odds, those being 1 in 300 without Charm and 1 in 100 with Charm. This seems very low for Pokemon like legendary Pokemon of all things, but at the same time, it can take 15 to 25-ish minutes to beat a Dynamax Adventure, and that's for just 4 encounters essentially. So I think that the time to encounter compared to the odds is somewhat justified. Also again, there's a set of legendaries that are exclusive to Sword versus Shield, so make sure to take that into consideration before you try to hunt Dialga in Shield. Next on my list is Spiritomb. So Spiritomb is a secret encounter you can activate by interacting with a tombstone and then talking to 50 players online. And from there, it'll appear at the tombstone where you can soft reset for it, or also do camp runaways. And it's kind of like back in Gen 4 when we had the old Keystone Spiritomb, so it's a good homage to that. So before I mentioned that you could hunt all 5 Reggies as well, and I saved their leader Regigigas for its own slot. So if you did not know, after having all 5 Reggies on your team, you can go to this like abandoned raid den that wasn't active and throw in a wishing piece, and then Regigigas will suck you into the den. Unlike Dynamax Adventures, I believe this Pokemon should appear as shiny. I haven't seen anybody post videos on getting it shiny yet, but it's not locked in the code, so it is obtainable. Whether it shows shiny in the den or after you catch it is unknown to me at this point. For this next hunt, I'm putting in a batch of Pokemon for this list, being the pseudo-legendary Pokemon that were added into the Crown Tundra. So in the Crown Tundra, there was basically the rest of the pseudo-legendaries making their return, which we can hunt a ton of them from the Dratini, Bagon, Beldum, and Gibble lines. And you can hunt them in various different ways. Some are grass encounters, some are overworld encounters like Metagross, which I think is pretty awesome that we can soft reset for Metagross. So in this DLC, the Hoenn starters made their return into the games, and that means they are indeed huntable. You can get them in either 2 ways, getting them in Dynamax Adventures or through breeding. Either way, these returning Pokemon are hunts worth considering. Also, they redid Combustion's shiny, and it looks pretty clean. Game Freak, please redo the other bad shinies like Gengar and Garchomp. They deserve better. So this next one's a little bit tricky in Galarian Slowking. So since Slowpoke in the Crown Tundra is only available in raids, I think it would be best if you just caught it in Isle of Armor or bred for it to get the shiny, and then just traded twigs to the person who gives you the crown and then get your Slowking that way, instead of just trying to get it in raids, which I think would kind of be a pain. Since I know it's technically then not gotten the Crown Tundra, but at the same time, it's the only regional variant we got in this DLC expansion part, so it's worth a hunt. I know this next one's kind of broad, but all the new static encounters like Aggron, Magmortar, Walrein, Nidoking, and Queen. Since these Pokemon are static, you can soft reset for them, making them unique hunts to take on. And I know a lot of this kind of overlaps with some of the past hunts I've mentioned, but it's a fun way to get shinies, and a ton of returning Pokemon are available this way. And I know a lot of people always hunt like this way, doing the soft reset on static, so I felt like including them was a fair point. And finally, I have hunting the returning Swords of Justice. So if you somehow avoided Crown Tundra spoilers across the post and thumbnails explaining that these things are in the DLC, the Swords of Justice are available, and they are not shiny locked, except for Keldeo. Keldeo's shiny locked. You can't get Keldeo shiny, sadly. But the 3 base legends, they're all soft resettable. You can do camp resets where you run away and then go back into camp, go out of camp, and they'll respawn where they appear. So there's an option to do fast resets for them, and I think that they earn their place on this list. So there you have it, 10 amazing hunts you can do in Pokemon Sword and Shield, the Crown Tundra. If you like this video, I would considering making ones for both base game Sword and Shield and the Isle of Armor. They probably would be shorter since there's less unique hunts to do, but it'd be fun to do nonetheless, so if you want that, don't forget to drop a comment down below. And also, don't forget to drop a like, and if you're new, consider subscribing. Other than that, thanks for coming out.